Welcome to Eureka Street Crypto. This is my anti-professional crypto channel. I'm just a barely sane dude who fell down the cryptocurrency rabbit hole. This channel is my fumbling attempt to communicate myself outside my own head about my journey in the crypto space. It is basically my brain dump. None of this is actual financial advice. Morning. How you doing? I'm Eureka John. You're at Eureka Street Crypto Hub. Or I'd just say Eureka Street Crypto because there's really no hub about it. It's just me with a video camera. But I'm here every single morning broadcasting live from Leander, Texas. And it is 7:10 in the morning. It's a little late in the morning for me. Broadcasting December 26th, 2021. This is my video blog, aka Brain Dump, my time in the morning before everybody gets up, although I hear some kids kind of rumbling around upstairs, to talk about some crypto and do some crypto stuff before I have to go on and be a family man, a dad, a husband, a coworker, a friend, everything else but some dude that talks to you about crypto. So, yes. And I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm not shilling anything. I'm not doing any type of technical analysis. These are not educational videos. These are just me talking about stuff that I learned. And I could be wrong, and I am wrong a lot of times. And yeah, definitely not financial advice and anything like that. So I got all the basics out of the way. Let's go into some crypto, shall we? Let's go over here to the old CoinGecker. I had DeFi Kingdoms up. Because I've been like a total DeFi Kingdoms maxi lately, and I'm sorry if that's like not what you're into, but I've spent the past couple videos kind of talking about topics revolving around DeFi Kingdoms, just because I'm super stoked on DeFi Kingdoms. I love the whole model and the way that they do things, the whole 8 to 16-bit just video game setup way to do DeFi. It kind of brings me back to when I was growing up and playing Nintendo all day, and that's what we did as kids. It's what my entire generation, Gen Xer, I'm a total Gen Xer, did as kids. We played video games because we were latchkey kids. All of us, an entire generation of nothing but latchkey kids. So yeah, that's why everything now we're kind of becoming the generation. I guess I hate to say in charge, but kind of creating some of the millennials and Gen Xers are inheriting a lot of the framework that is happening today, and we're molding it into through our lens. And our lens grew up playing video games, and so now even financial, this is kind of shining through in financial instruments, and this can be seen in DeFi Kingdom. We're shaping entire financial instruments around video games and the video game style. And then there's a whole play to earn thing and everything like that. It's just, it's crazy, all this stuff that is happening. And I get it though. A lot of Gen Xers, they're kind of at this weird crossroads between, landline and Wi-Fi. We experienced both worlds, pre-internet and post-internet, and so did millennials to an extent. So it'd be interesting to see whenever Zoomers actually take the helm for society and life, and what that's going to look like. It's a whole generation of kids that never knew anything but online, and digital. So and we see the currency already shifting towards that way with them trying to phase out paper currency and bringing in digital CBDCs. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully we can have a decentralized, established, private cryptocurrency for all. But there's always that force and that tension that is the going back and forth, the centralization versus decentralization forces constantly in constant tension and butting heads. This dialectic, they always say the Hegelian dialectic is what the power structures use, problem, reaction, solution, and stuff like that. But within that dialectic, there's this tension always butting heads too. I don't know if that's Hegel. I think that's Heidegger. I don't know. I'm not really that good at philosophy. But right there in the middle between that tension is where you find God. Right there, the crushing in the middle, and then I can't explain it because I'm not a philosopher. So yeah. Anyway, that being said, let's take a look at some more. I don't really feel like going through the CoinGecko rankings because the market's actually doing pretty okay right now. All right. So anyway, I want to get on to some other stuff. So DeFi Kingdoms is on the Harmony blockchain, and that to me was new, and I had to go down a rabbit hole and learn an entire new blockchain. I've been learning new blockchains, other layer 1 solutions. I believe layer 2 solutions are great too. I, but I don't think that Ethereum, will be the only layer 1 solution. Ethereum, all the blockchains are becoming EVM compatible, which means Ethereum virtual machine, and so they're all bridging to Ethereum, and you don't really see Ethereum making proactive bridges back to all these other blockchains. So that's why I think Ethereum is kind of the king of a lot of these types of blockchains. And I'm not including Bitcoin in this because Bitcoin's a whole other conversation. To me, it's more of a store of value. You can't really put smart contracts. And yes, people are like building some things on top of Bitcoin, like Counterparty. There's the Taproot upgrade. There's block stacks. There's stuff like that. Lightning Network. But it's not really the same. It's not, Bitcoin wasn't designed with smart contracts in mind as a layer 1 solution. These other blockchains are. And so there's a lot of these other blockchains that people have been calling Ethereum killers. I don't think it's necessarily going to be Ethereum killer. I think there's going to be like this whole composability element. Yes, between different dApps, but even between different blockchains in Ethereum. And then layer 2 solutions as well. I was been looking at DeFi Kingdoms, and DeFi Kingdoms is on the Harmony 1 blockchain, and they are expanding and they're blowing up with their whole new video game style of doing financial instruments and play to earn games. So let's take a look at this article over here. This article here kind of explains play to earn games pretty well for those who might not quite understand it. It says why I sold my Axes for DeFi Kingdoms. And so here, I'll read a little bit of this. So I've become a DeFi Kingdoms maxi. I kind of have too. It aligns with my medieval theme for the newsletter, and apparently it was destined to be. Okay, that's the author. To me, all jokes aside, there's not been a better long-term play in a while. I agree. If you haven't heard about DeFi Kingdoms, check out this article below. All right. I'm not really a huge RPG nerd type of game guy. I like the throwback to the old games and stuff, and I played some games like it on my phone, but it's not like what I do all day. I've never really been into World of Warcraft or anything like that. I was too busy going outside and doing stuff. But I get the appeal to it though. So I'm not like sitting here trashing on people that play video games all the time. But just like anything else, you got to take things in moderation. So over the past month, I've been highly involved in DeFi Kingdoms, and for a good reason. The depth behind this game does take quite a bit of research to understand. So it's easy to jump in, but it's hard to like fully understand the depth. But as you continue down the rabbit hole, you can see how much value it truly has. For this article, I will compare tokenomics and growth with the Axie Infinity, the pinnacle of play-to-earn games for the past few years. And if you aren't familiar with Axie Infinity, they are kind of like the OG play-to-earn game. And by play-to-earn, meaning you buy your NFT character, and then you use that character to build out and to increase your earnings. There's a bunch of decentralized finance type of aspects in there where you can swap tokens and stuff like that. And I don't know if that's in Axie Infinity, but that's in DeFi Kingdoms. And there's it combines decentralized finance and with NFTs in a way that you can earn while you play, and you build up your characters and you're earning income. And a lot of people are doing this in underdeveloped nations. So to start, this author, I've been an on and off Axie player since 2018. I was there before the PvE and PvP aspect. I'm not really sure what that is, honestly, which is very similar where we currently are with DeFi Kingdoms. At the time, summoning was the only action you could do. All right. So, yeah, see, that shows how, I don't know about it, but I highlighted this part here. Due to the psychology, so this is game theory. Due to the psychology of gaming, these new updates add value, and people want to hold their assets in the system. All right. So the thing about a lot of these games is you build up a lot of these assets in there. You get to all these levels, you buy gold, and then you're done with the game and you just wasted money. All right. So so due to the psychology of gaming, these new updates add value and make people want to hold their assets in the system. I can explain this with one of the newer profit gaming models, the free to play game. So you get those games on your phone where it's free to play, right? Free to play games give you free tokens and make the starting levels easy to beat. As the game progresses and people get rewarded, their enjoyment increases. Once the game becomes a habit of playing, it continues to get more complicated, and the players then given a choice of paying for tokens that enrich gameplay or having to wait. This game has become the new profit model for many games because of the impatience of players and the need for rewards. Play to earn games do not have this, but instead flip this mechanism on its head. So these free to play games, I've been totally trapped into it. I've been a sucker for it. You get to this point in this level, and then you find yourself having to wait like 24 hours or 48 hours or even 36 or 48 hours or 60 a week to like be able to upgrade to this like level 5 castle, so you can continue on and earn these other, yeah, I mean, you get the point, and you're just like, man, so you'll pay that $1.99 to speed up the clock and stuff like that. And they're making a killing of it, but play to earn, they don't have this. Instead, they flip this mechanism on its head. Play to earn games typically require to make an initial upfront investment into the game to play. So you pay upfront. Once your in-game assets have been purchased, you are the owner and not the game studio. So you own those NFTs in order to play with, and you're not paying the game studio to speed up the clock so you can hurry up and build your castle or whatever, to upgrade your hero. So with most games, trapping value inside by having no exit ramp for your in-game assets is a way to ensure they capture 100% of the profits. Electronic Arts and Blizzard are serious offenders in modeling their games for maximum profit and weaker gameplay over the years. So yeah, I know EA is pretty bad about that. With Ethereum and other blockchain assets, Zynga is too, assets transferring between platforms has become extremely easy. So yeah, when you own the NFT, you can transfer between different video games, different platforms. You can cash out the gold that you've accumulated, or you can sell your heroes for Ethereum or whatever, cryptocurrency. Then you can move all that over to another game. So you're not starting over from day one, and you can build up another equal level type of player in another game pretty easily. So with Ethereum and other blockchain assets, transferring between platforms has become extremely easy. Here's where NFT or blockchain-based gaming assets shine. You can sell your time spent to other players instead of leaving them on your account. This is the value of play-to-earn games. The developer profit is also lucrative to players. So if you've spent all this time building up this hero or building up this castle or fort, and you spend a lot of money in it too. I mean, time is money too. And then a lot of these games, once they kind of get out of vogue or once you're done with it, then you're just basically just leaving this like, I don't know, level 10 kingdom, it's just like sitting in the game, abandoned. What if you could sell that to somebody else before you take off and you walk off with your profits from having spent all that time building that up? So yeah, continual rewards and game updates will keep people involved at a higher level while early investors take profit. They may do so less than the average, because of the chance of high returns being locked into the game NFT aspect on the platform. As mass adoption comes along, specifically the gamification of DeFi and making DeFi easier to use, early users will be less inclined to take profits, and newcomers, while small in purchasing power individually, will grow at an exponential rate. As the tokens get unlocked from the locking mechanisms in July of 2022, the likelihood that these jewel tokens will re-enter the ecosystem between staking and farming and utility of heroes is higher, leading to low sell volume, high buy volume. This opinion is founded on DeFi Kingdom's unlocking period is structured to reward long-term users. This is what Axie Infinity did and has done for years. Yes, they have. So they're kind of doing a comparison here. But I just wanted to highlight that little part here that they were talking about the psychology of gaming and stuff. So anyway, I was reading on some more of the docs, and then like I said, DeFi Kingdoms is on Harmony, but they're expanding out to Avalanche with the Crystalvale realm, and so they're going to start an entire new world on the Avalanche blockchain. And if you don't know what Avalanche is, that's another layer one solution that people have been calling Ethereum killers and all that stuff, you know. But a lot of these other blockchains are now starting to really build out to become like fully functional, really fun, engaging blockchains to participate on, you know. Again, I don't think that this makes Ethereum irrelevant or any Ethereum killers, but there's just a lot of stuff elsewhere, and a lot of fun to be had and money to be made on other blockchains as well. So we're excited to announce our first cross-chain expansion to Avalanche. DeFi Kingdom's Crystalvale will be a new realm and introducing a multitude of new features and resources. But why Avalanche? With near instant transaction speeds, low fees, and over 4,500 transactions a second, Avalanche is a perfect platform for GameFi applications. And that's what the buzzword is, GameFi. So you can currently purchase Jewel on Avalanche via Pangolin or Trader Joe. Those are two DEXs, Pangolin and Trader Joe. I was like, what the hell is a pangolin? It's some kind of weird animal. And all these have been bridged over from AnySwap. Staking Jewel in the Crystalvale realm on the Avalanche network will give you crystal tokens. All right. So the crystal token will essentially power the Crystalvale realm, just like the Jewel token powers the DeFi Kingdom's realm on the Harmony blockchain. You'll be able to earn crystal through single staking your Jewel tokens bridged over from Harmony. So they're going to have unique NPCs and heroes. Crystalvale will have its own limited series of Gen 0 heroes, NFTs, including new genres and classes that are unique to Crystalvale. More quests, resources, and features are also included. You can level up these heroes just like you can in the DeFi Kingdoms one. So, and of course, there's like the marketplace and the ice gardens and all the bank and all the same stuff that you would find on the DeFi Kingdoms on Harmony and the Avalanche blockchain. So, yeah, those people that are more inclined to use Avalanche, you're going to have this game come over there pretty soon, and that's pretty rad. So, and that's going to be starting 2022 here. So, what I did is I pulled some of my cash, I guess, or some of my tokens of other projects from Polygon, and I used that whole process that I went through 2 days ago that I had to discover on how to transfer tokens from Polygon to Harmony. Well, this time I did it from Polygon to Avalanche, and it wasn't nearly as difficult because Avalanche, I guess, is a little more of a prominent blockchain than Harmony is. But basically what I did is I took some wrapped Ethereum and I just sold it for some Avalanche. And then I took I took some Magic Internet money, which is a stable coin, and I sold that for Avalanche using, what did I use? I think I used Quick Swap or something. I can't remember, or Sushi Swap. Yeah, I used Sushi Swap. So I took that. And then I went over here to the Relay app and I sent that Avalanche over to from the Polygon blockchain. So right here, I had my MetaMask RPC on Polygon, and it said Polygon here instead of Avalanche. Hold on, let me zoom out this window so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. And all right, let me just go ahead and get all this set up so you can see it. So Relay app is pretty cool, and you can find Relay app by either going to relaychain.com, or you can go to QuickSwap whenever you're swapping things around on Polygon right here. And this is QuickSwap. This is the Polygon Uniswap basically. And then right here in Bridge, you can see that the menu drops down and there's Relay right there. So I went over to Relay and I was on the Polygon RPC. So I sent from Polygon to Avalanche, and I sent those Avalanche tokens over. It gave me wrapped Avalanche tokens. So whenever I came over to Avalanche, I found that I had wrapped Avalanche tokens and I had to unwrap them. So I went over to Trader Joe and I unwrapped the Avalanche tokens right here. Look at this interface. It's a nice little interface on Trader Joe. This is one of their DEXs. So there's two main DEXs on Avalanche blockchain. There's Trader Joe and Pangolin. And now that Crystalvale is coming, there's going to be a third DEX. So we'll see what happens, because the DeFi Kingdoms is the main DEX on Harmony blockchain. And I wonder what this is going to do to the Trader Joe Pangolin markets. So and I unwrapped the Avalanche here. And then I noticed that Jewel token, the main token in DeFi Kingdoms, was not available in Trader Joe. So I went over to Pangolin, and here's the other one, And let's see here. This I set up a liquidity pool, as you can tell here. But I swapped that that unwrapped Avalanche, and then I swapped it over for the Jewel token right here because it was available on Pangolin and not available on Trader Joe, even though the docs for DeFi Kingdom said that it was available on Trader Joe, and it wasn't. And the Trader Joe has nothing to do with that grocery store over in the Pacific Northwest, or in California or whatever. They don't have Trader Joe's here. Actually, there is a Trader Joe here in Austin. But yeah, it's in the rich neighborhood. I don't get over there too much. But yeah. So anyway, I got my Jewel tokens, and there's not a whole lot I can do with my Jewel tokens yet because Crystalvale is not open and set up yet. But what I can do is I can go ahead and get the Jewel tokens in anticipation of it being launched on Avalanche, and then I'm kind of speculating on price here. So I'm assuming there's going to be quite a bit of trading happening on for the Jewel token. So you can go into the into the game, and then you can stake your Jewel, and then you can earn the Crystal token in exchange. So I set up a liquidity pool right here in Pangolin. So yeah, and I already, I mean, it's a pretty high APY liquidity pool here on Pangolin. So anyway, I was curious about these two dexes, Pangolin and Trader Joe on the Avalanche blockchain. So, naturally I went and I just kind of did a search, and Pangolin versus Trader Joe. And I kind of wanted to just kind of, get a little rundown about how these two dexes compare to each other, since they're both the main dexes on here. So it says 2021 will go down in crypto history as a year that blockchain broke free of its Ethereum-based shackles and began to embrace other platforms. I don't really call them shackles. I mean, come on, I mean, I know they're high gas fees and stuff like that, and but Ethereum is scaling out and it's taking a while. I mean, everybody, they want it to yesterday, but it takes a while to scale out like one of the most decentralized blockchains from one entirely different model to another model of doing things, so it's not gonna happen in an instant. so so one of this year's standout winners in this regard has been Avalanche. The finance focused platform has been flying high, particularly so following the summer launch of Avalanche Rush. It's a $180 million liquidity mining program that pulled in $1.5 billion worth of liquidity from Ethereum. And liquidity is basically the gas that keeps a blockchain going. If you don't have liquidity, the things just kind of get stuck. In early September, the Avalanche Foundation disclosed it had completed a private sale raising $2.3 million for development on the platform. So a lot of stuff has been built on Avalanche recently too. And there's the Wonderland Wonderland.money app, and there's the Time token, which is an Ohm fork I've been having fun with. So as a result, the DeFi ecosystem on Avalanche is now thriving. Pangolin, a Uniswap clone, was the first DEX to set up home on the network, kickstarting liquidity over the recent months. Trader Joe's emerged as Pangolin's biggest rival, overtaking the latter in total value locked. But side by side, which one's better? So they compare it here. All right, so Pangolin was launched by AVAX to be the flagship DeFi app and DEX on Avalanche. So it's the OG on the Avalanche blockchain. It launched in 2021 with a vision of being an entirely community-owned and community-driven project. So that's cool. I like community-owned and community-driven. I don't necessarily love all this VC investor-driven stuff, although some pretty cool stuff can come out of there. But let's take a quick look again at Pangolin. Let's take a look at the swap function, and since I'm streaming, things take extra long to all right, so it looks just like Uniswap, basically, is the point I'm trying to make. All right, so today Pangolin has over 250, this is in November when this article is written, $250 million in total value locked from around 5,000 daily users. It's been voracious in pursuing partnerships with other projects, having secured over 30 collaborations since launch, including with lending protocol Banky Finance and liquidity aggregator OpenOcean. So right on. So Trader Joe aims to be the one-stop trading platform on Avalanche. While its initial scope is as a DEX, Trader Joe also plans to expand into lending, enabling leverage trading. Its focus is on fast and secure development and innovation. The DEX launched in early July and has accrued $20 million in value locked within 2 weeks. It currently holds over $2 billion in total value locked. And again, this is, like back in November, both of these numbers. From the trader's perspective, token swaps on both exchanges incur a standard fee of 0.3%. So that nothing there really distinguishes them. Which is typical for DEX. Unlike like most DEX, Pangolin and Trader Joe differentiate themselves based on other factors, mainly user experience, rewards, and governance. So, Pangolin's a fork of Uniswap, and its current user interface is very familiar for Uniswap users, as I just showed you, right? It just looks just like Uniswap. Like that. All right. Trader Joe, though, look at this interface. It's got the funny, fancy little graph there, and it looks a little different. So, back to the article here. Trader Joe's developed its own interface, which integrates the charts featured directly into the main menu options pool. So the trade feature includes a candle chart with the pool section that shows the liquidity available in each pool. So that's cool. In terms of token options, both Pangolin and Trader Joe allow the users to swap any Avalanche compatible token with any other. However, while the wrapped Ethereum AVAX pool is the biggest in both exchanges, the liquidity in other pools varies. As the exchange with more total value locked, Trader Joe is likely to offer less slippage, at least in the larger and more liquid pools. And I don't really have an exact definition of slippage, but when you have a lot of liquidity, the price that you honed in to buy something at is the price you're going to trade at, pretty much, when you have zero slippage. When you have a little bit of slippage, there can be some kind of, by the time you click, trade, and then by the time the trade happens, the price could have changed some, and then it slips. That's slippage. So when you have a lot less liquidity in the pool, that slippage can happen to jump around pretty badly. So that's why DEXs and some exchanges brag about zero slippage. And then there's even a new DEX somewhere. I can't remember which blockchain it's on. Slingshot exchange. And they advertise positive slippage. So if a lot of times slippage is bad, because if it slips in the wrong way, then you end up paying more than you wanted. But if you have positive slippage, it pays you back. So that's cool. None of these other DEXs or exchanges have thought about positive slippage. But they just kind of keep the extra money, right? And in terms of both options, both Pangolin and Trader Joe allow users to swap in an Avalanche compatible token with any other. However, while the wrapped, I already talked about that. So Pangolin has one killer feature available that it could give it the edge over Trader Joe and even other DEX on other platforms. It allows users to onboard straight to Avalanche, to the AVAX token directly from fiat using Apple Pay or a credit card. So you can go directly to the big bad boys, the fiat banks and stuff like that, to the credit card companies, and use your dollars to buy on a decentralized exchange. I think you can do that, you can do that in your MetaMask wallet as well, for Ethereum, but I haven't really seen any other, other blockchains incorporate this yet. So it's interesting to see Avalanche incorporate that through Pangolin, where you can use your credit card to buy AVAX in a decentralized exchange. I mean, centralized exchange all day, but KYC is like a big issue. So I'm kind of wondering how that works out, and I don't know. So it'd be interesting to hear some people comment about that. So Pangolin has one killer feature available that could give it the edge over Trader Joe and even other DEXs on the platforms. It allows users to onboard from fiat to crypto straight to Avalanche's native AVAX token from fiat using Apple Pay or a credit card. The feature is thanks to a partnership with Wire. WYRE. That's a kind of a credit card on crypto to fiat to crypto processing company. So fiat integration has been a bridge too far for many DeFi applications, right? However, Pangolin has made it a priority to build bridges with CeFi, centralized finance. Those are those centralized exchanges. You don't hold the keys. That's the decentralized finance. You hold the keys to your wallet, and you're in control of your crypto all the time. Centralized exchanges, you do not. You have your account up there, and they are in charge. And if they decide to shut down, you're screwed. So, or if they're doing maintenance, you can't access anything. Not so a decentralized finance, but centralized finance. A lot of times the gas fees are super cheap. They have a lot more variety. A lot of times they can offer you things from a bunch of different blockchains, where decentralized finance exchanges, DEXs, don't really allow all that, and things get a little more hairy, and you kind of have to put the pieces of the puzzle together. But I enjoy doing that, but not everybody does. So Pangolin has made it a priority to build bridges with CeFi to help broaden its appeal to a large community of users. So the fiat integration part of this, the dollar integration, the euro, the yuan, yen, is part of this commitment. So that could give Pangolin a huge heads up. I mean, Trader Joe right now is like, the new kid on town. It's amazing. It's popular. Until DeFi Kingdom builds Crystalvale, and then we'll see what happens when that DEX gets up there. But anyway, the PNG token, Pangolin's PNG token model reflects its commitment to being a community-driven project. 95% of the total supply of tokens, or $512 million, a million of them, is dedicated to the community treasury, which funds liquidity mining. The other 5% is ring-fenced for community airdrop. No PNG has been allocated to investors or insiders. PNG holders govern the protocol, holding decision-making capacity over liquidity pool modifications in the fee switch mechanism. So that's pretty cool, man. The PNG is owned by the community. Trader Joe has a different model of distribution and fee allocation. 50% of the total Joe supply is allocated to liquidity providers, while a further 40% is split equally between the team and the project treasury. The remaining 10% was earmarked for potential strategic investors. Trader Joe later held a token sale when it raised $5 million from private investors, including Defiance Capital. In contrast to PNG, which focuses on rewarding those who provide liquidity, the Joe model rewards works similar to sushi. 0.05% of all trading fees are diverted into rewards for Joe holders, who then can stake their Joe for X Joe to earn their share. So I don't know. PNG seems a little more community focused. However, if you look at like the token price action, and I don't know if I can get this to pull up, but I mean, either way, I'm kind of at the end of this episode. But I did want to show you that Pangolin sounds to me like the better option. They're going to incorporate the fiat dollar on ramps. All the stuff goes back to the PNG community. It's community owned. It seems more decentralized and all that stuff. However, the PNG price action, has been really lame. If you look it up on CoinGecko, I mean, ever since inception, it's just been in the red. It's just gone down and down and down slowly. I don't know, maybe that all this new version and everything that they're doing here on PNG, and right now they're working on Pangolin, they're working on a new interface. They're bringing in, I think, version 3 or version 2 or something like that of it. Maybe all this stuff will help it grow and, be a little more appealing with all these new developments, and we'll kind of reverse that trend of everything kind of going in the red over the years, over the time since it's been, in existence. So I don't know, it's not pulling up right now, and I'm not going to waste a bunch of time doing so. But that being said, okay, nice little rundown. I think you can share your opinion if you want, man. But I'll take a little thumbs up. If you want to give me a thumbs down, whatever. You're probably the type that yelps all the time. All right. Well, I will talk to you guys tomorrow, and who knows what the hell we'll be talking about. All right, later. Thank you for making it to the end of this program. If you actually like this content, give a thumbs up. And if you want to hear more, just hit the subscribe button. I'm available on YouTube, Odyssey, and BitChute, and on all the major podcasting platforms in audio version. Spotify specifically. If you would like to follow and leave a review, that would help a lot. I am also available on Twitter at EurekaJohn1. That's EUREKA John, JOHN, and the number 1. My DMs are always open. Feel free to shoot me a message. Thanks again.